The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Schaap. You may know me from ESPN's Outside the Lines and Sports Center. What you probably don't know is that I've suffered from Crohn's disease for almost 20 years. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America's Take Steps, Be Heard walk program is the largest national walk program dedicated to raising funds and awareness to combat Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. To learn more about how you can help and to find a walk site near you, please visit www.cctakesteps.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire is Rod Eccles.
Good Friday morning to you, one and all.
Welcome to Freedom Friday.
Yes, indeed. Welcome indeed to Freedom Friday. I am, of course, your lovable host, Elrod, coming to you live from the Bunker Eye Studio. Here it is on Friday, May number 19 in the year of our Lord 2017. And as we do every Friday for all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastics and new and regular listeners out there, we take things a little bit lighter on Friday, talking about and opening the lines up to just about any subject under the planet that you may have an interest in. All you got to do is either text me, well, not text, but Twitter me over at Elrod on Twitter, or call in 603-835-3226. If you do the @ symbol at Elrod, or if you use the hashtag bringing the rain, then I will most likely see it over there on Twitter. I try to keep track of Twitter during the program, but I'm only one person, so sometimes I may miss. But yeah, you can do that, or better yet, just call in and talk about it. 603-835-3226. This, I was going to open the show with something a little different than this, but this just came across my desk here in the Bunker Eye Studio. Now, maybe this is old news, but I'm just getting it. It looks like, supposedly, and this is coming from a couple of sources, including the usually accurate Gateway Pundit, that Donald Trump has a hierarchy for FBI directors, or FBI director. He's got a number of people, I guess, that is leading the pack of who he's going to nominate to be in that position. And at the top of one of the names at the top of the list is none other than former independent Democrat, Connecticut's former Connecticut Senator Joe Lieberman. And I'm thinking, I hope to God that that's fake news. Joe Lieberman is FBI director? Really? Now, folks, before people, start flipping out and jumping out windows and stuff, now you got to understand, as many of us here in the talking sphere have noted before to you, that Donald Trump is not a politician, and he definitely doesn't play by very rigid party line standards. But he doesn't know what it is to cross the aisle. George W. Bush and his father, H.W. Bush, they did this notion of crossing the aisle type of thing, and trying to show how bipartisan they could be by nominating or hiring people from the Democrat Party. Now that was basically politics. Trump honestly tries to look for the people he thinks is best for the job, whatever that job is, no matter what their political affiliation, just like he is in business. Now, which now makes me wonder, well, what could Joe Lieberman possibly have in his past that Trump would view as being a very good fit for being the FBI director? Well, just because he was a senator and the committees that Lieberman was on while he was a senator, touched base or had oversight over the FBI. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is behind Lieberman. I mean, but honestly, I mean, if the news is true, if it's not fake news, if it's not Trump just throwing something out there to put everybody off base, which he could do that. I don't put that beneath the Trumpster, the Donald. Well, actually, he's no longer he's the President Donald now. I keep keep forgetting that, but I mean it I don't see Joe Lieberman as FBI director. I don't. Maybe it's because of Joe's very calm demeanor. I don't think I've ever heard Joe Lieberman raise his voice or really get upset. Look. I don't think I've ever heard Joe Lieberman get irritated. Now we've heard Mitch McConnell, we've heard Paul Ryan get irritated. I don't think I've ever heard Joe Lieberman be irritated.
Joe Lieberman always has this kind of droll, kind of nasally kind of voice, you see. And, he's from Connecticut, and he's always level-headed. Maybe that's what you need for the FBI director. I don't know. Maybe that's what Trump is looking at. It's highly possible. Maybe if this is true, then that would be, I would guess that it's because Lieberman is I know he's not. He's an old style. He's a conservative Democrat, if you will. No, and really, he's in Israel. Well, he's a Jew, but he supports Israel. You'd be surprised how many Jews in this country do not support Israel. I mean, that's just fascinating to me. But he supports Israel. There have been times when he's been a Clinton supporter, but there have been times when he's been a Clinton foe. So sometimes he's kind of hard to peg. I know this is probably why he went independent. Now remember, folks, he's not very happy with the Democrats. The Democrats threw him under the bus all those years ago when he decided to go in. They cheated him out of the out of his primary when he primaried for his Senate seat. I forget the year it was, back in Connecticut. And this young whippersnapper that the Democratic Party decided they were going to put all their money and weight behind beat Joe in the Democratic primary. So what did Joe Lieberman do? He said, well, screw this. I'm dumping the Democrat Party. I'm going independent. And he kept his seat. So, and he's been kind of during his last term as senator from Connecticut before he retired, he was kind of a thorn in the Democrat side. I mean, there were a number of times when he did and said things that very well irked much like Bernie Sanders. But Bernie Sanders was trying to pull the party farther to the left, where Joe Lieberman, I think, was trying to actually moderate and bring the party back towards its center, the political center. So that may have been that may be one of the reasons why Trump may be considering Lieberman for the position, simply because Lieberman really is kind of his own guy. That's my take on it. Just saying. when you first hear about it, you might want to say, Lieberman? Really? No. I don't know. Now when we talk it through, it may not be such a bad idea. I don't know his law enforcement experience. But as far as having a level head, which an FBI director needs to have, they can't be the last thing we need is a potentate wannabe like J. Edgar Hoover as the FBI director. Now maybe that was Comey. I don't know. Maybe that was Comey's problem. Maybe Comey was just inept and inadequate for the job. But maybe what we need now is somebody who's more level-headed, even-keeled, isn't easily swayed one way or the other, and isn't easily ticked off or tweaked, as it were. Well, that would seem to be Joe Lieberman, to tell you the truth. I got to be honest with you on that. Again, he's not really a Democrat anymore, as far as we know what Democrats to be in this day and age. He's an old John F. Kennedy Democrat, which is why he probably got kicked to the curb by the Democrat Party, because they wanted to go the farther and farther to the left, and Lieberman was standing in there, one of the old guard that was standing in their way of doing that. So you think they would have embraced Bernie Sanders, but no, I guess it was just Hillary Clinton's turn. So I'm just hoping that the Lieberman thing. Yeah, well, maybe the Lieberman thing is fake news, and maybe it's not. We'll have to wait and see. Here's something that is not fake news, by the way, which is what I was originally going to open this program with this morning. The journalist who is behind the so-called Comey memo. You know, the journalist that's behind the alleged Trump Comey memo told Brian Williams on MSNBC. Now, I had to check this because this was on. I got this lead to the story from gotnews.com and then did some quick checking and found out it was also on Gateway Pundit, but it comes via MSNBC. Now, we know MSNBC is pretty much fake news, but it's an interview with Brian Williams. Michael Schmidt, the New York Times journalist who's behind the Trump Comey memo story, admits to Brian Williams on the air the memo that says that Trump asked Comey to stop Flynn investigation. The journalist admits reluctantly on the air to Brian Williams on MSNBC. So therefore, this is not a fake news story. He admits that he has not even seen the memo, that his sources just told him that there was a memo and that what the memo said, and that was it. Nothing else. So the guy didn't even do his due diligence, and he's out reporting. So he's out reporting this as if it was factual. He doesn't have any information. He never saw. I don't know, if you're a journalist and you have a source, quote-unquote source, wouldn't you at least like to see the memo, even if the memo was faked? Wouldn't you like to see what the memo said? I mean, this is what usually, you watch all those old TV programs from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, the black and whites, movies and TV programs where there's a reporter involved. What happens? The reporter gets a scoop, right? But how does the reporter get it? Somebody hands the reporter or mails the reporter a big envelope. And in that envelope is all kinds of stuff on paper. Bunches and bunches of words written on paper. There might even be some diagrams and some pictures on paper in those big envelopes. It's never a small envelope. It's one of those, now it's black and white, but you're going to assume it's a manila colored envelope. So they get these big envelopes, and they pull out the papers that are in the envelope. They're usually stuffed in the envelopes, and they're always unfolded, and they're always perfectly neat, and they're always untattered. And there's a whole bunch of words either written or typed on these pieces of paper called pages. And there's usually some diagrams and some photos to back up what the story is. And then, and only then, does the reporter say, I've got a source here, boss. He runs into the editor, got a source. We got to crack down. The editor looks at it and says, can you back this up? The editor says, can you back this up? Can we get another source to confirm? Get another confirmation before we go to print. And the reporter diligently says, you got it, on it, boss. And they're out there pounding the pavement, getting a second source before they go to print. And they come back to the boss, the editor, and says, I got the second source. This looks like it's with the real stuff, boss. Stop the presses. We got a new story to print. That's when they go to the presses. Today, obviously what journalism has degraded to, I got this unnamed source. They didn't show me a damn thing. They didn't send me anything. We were just having coffee at the local Starbucks, and he said, hey, there's this memo that I saw that Comey says that Trump asked him to get rid of the investigation. Really? Oh, wow. I'm going to go write that down. And then they go run into the editor's office. Boss, you won't believe what I just heard today at Starbucks. What? Comey. A source told me that Comey admitted that Trump tried to get him to stop the investigation. Is there a backup source? No, but this source is really credible. Did you see the memo? No, I didn't see the memo. He just told me about it. Okay, we'll run with it then. And this guy is now, Schmidt, a journalist, is now admitting that that's basically what happened. Hey, Brian Williams, did you see the memo? Schmidt, no, Brian, I didn't see the memo personally, but this source is really credible. But here's a guy who's been reprimanded in the past for fake stories, or lying, or tweaking, and they don't ask for proof from this guy first before they print the story. Oh no, because it had to do with Trump. That's why. All on Trump. If it's about Trump, then it has to be true no matter what. Even if it's not true, we'll make it true. But now it's a little bit harder to get away with fake news because so many people are sensitive to fake news and we're all paying attention. And somebody with a legitimate blog or news site out there is going to catch you and print it. And everybody's going to know. Just saying.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement. But now, there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
And now a message from our sponsor. Ladies, tired of drying your hair with the same old vacuum cleaner? Try Avon Shave brand new Beauty Locks portable hair dryer. It's smaller, it's faster, it's guaranteed to give you the hair you've always wanted in half the time. Beauty Locks is delicate and dainty, just like you. The dryer weighs only a pound and easily fits in your hand. Now that's beauty and convenience. With a speedy motor that will dry your hair in as little as 25 minutes, you can get gorgeous hair without falling behind schedule. Don't worry about the little ones or that pie in the oven. Thanks to an extra-long extension cord, you can move around while primping your locks. Forget those long trips to the salon and no more waiting for hours under monster machines. Alvon Shea gives you an easy and speedy hairdo that will blow your man away. Get it now at your nearest Macy's.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
Six 603-835-3226. Welcome back. One of the things that, I know what people are thinking. You know, it's MSNBC, Rod. He's Brian Williams. You know, one of the potentates of fake news. Brian, I know. But look, you don't say it on national. You don't embarrass yourself on live TV. I mean, he was live. There is no denying that. And here it is. Now this journalist, who is Michael Schmidt. Schmidt has been called out for getting a story wildly wrong before, thanks to his anonymous sources. Now, Schmidt, citing his anonymous federal law enforcement sources, claimed that one of the San Bernardino terrorists had talked about jihad openly, and she hadn't. She hadn't talked about it. That was the first thing. Now, his boss even reprimanded him and called for systematic changes to the way Schmidt and Carlos Slim's blog use anonymous sources. Now, Schmidt's open admission on NBC confirms the report from Got News Wednesday that Schmidt hasn't in fact seen the relevant documents, because Schmidt stumbled over his words on MSNBC as he commented to Williams, someone that had seen the memo had recounted the details to me. In other words, he had not seen the memo. He had not seen the report on that memo from this. I'm guessing there is no source. You know, I'm listening to all these journalists just hunker down on their sources, and every time you read a story, it's sources say. And I have often, you know, not even the weekend after, you know, last week we had all this, you know, the stuff about this coming out, and all these wonderful left-wing news outlets kept saying sources say. But that wasn't the surprising fact. They kept saying current and former White House employees. It hadn't even been a week. It was like, you know, they were reporting this 2 days supposedly after it happened. So there are a bunch of sources that were either let go or quit within 2 days of the reporting and printing of this, that said that there was this memo. So that was a red flag for me, right? I would, you know, if this story was old, you know, if it was, you know, about a couple of months old, I wouldn't even have thought twice about the whole notion of current and former employees of the White House as source. Former, yeah, that would happen. But 2 days, there's somebody walking. What did they do? They heard the news or read the memo, and they walked out the door and said, "I quit," and then walked over to the various news reporters in the West Wing and said, "You won't believe what I just read. And I quit over it." So now they're a former employee of the White House? Is that what happened? No, that's not what happened. It's a bunch of made-up fake news, folks. I'm telling you right now. You know what? It is getting so easy to question the media today. And figuring out what is fake news and what is possibly real news. Let me give you a little hint. If a story is just breaking because it just happened over the last 24 or 48 hours, and they are telling you that it's sources, former employment sources, it might be fake. Unless they're getting the source directly from the person who was fired, in this case, Comey. Is that their former White House source, Comey himself?
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. the families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
603-835-3226. Welcome back. It's coming into swimsuit season. Well, at least up here in the northern half of the country, especially here in the Northeast, we're quickly approaching warmer. Well, I mean, yesterday it was 95. The day before that it was 90 or something like that. Today it's supposed to be in the 80s. We did have a wonderful old-fashioned thunder boomer last night that blew in and then blew out. It wasn't really a soaking rain. There was no hard rain that came with it either. A little bit of wind and let you know it was coming, and then it was like boom for about, 15, 20 minutes of boom. And it was gone. I was disappointed in Mother Nature last night. I was expecting a show. The first real thunder boomer in the Northeast of the season. And kind of fizzled. It's kind of one of those things where you go to a fireworks display, and the fireworks display actually turns out to be like, instead of being a 30-minute, wonderful, glorious display of Americana, it happens to be 10 minutes of lameness. Well, that's basically what the thunderstorm last night was. I don't even think we got any flash flooding out of it, really. It was at least not here in northern New England. It fizzled. I mean, there was a couple of big, bright lightning strikes in the sky, and it was lit up the sky, really, how lightning does, and there was big, loud boom and echoing thunder across the fruited skies up there, fruited plains as far as New England is concerned. But then that was it. That was it. But it is coming to we are coming to swimsuit season, as it were. And that, well, I mean, the reason why I bring it up basically is because there's a story here of women, millennials, 18 to 26. And this is coming from the UK. Yes, the Telegraph. And this is being led by some younger celebrity females out there, which, there's a lot of women, Eastern European women do this. It isn't so much Asian women or by Asian, I mean, even from India, really Asian women. And, I don't know. Is it true of Arabic women? In any case, there are women here in the U.S. and in the UK. There is a rise of young women going au natural. As nearly as many as a quarter, 25%, now don't shave their underarms. I gotta tell you, I'm more than a little kind of grossed out about that. I can handle a woman that doesn't shave her legs regularly. I really can. For some, that doesn't. Yeah, the real femininity is having, a bush under the armpits. I mean, I know it's natural, but it just, no. To me, it turns. The funny thing is that I think the trend is, except for the beard, more and more guys. If you're an 18 to 26-year-old male, you're doing something. What do they call it? Body something. They're shaving. Men are going hairless, and women are doing the opposite. So guys are shaving their chest, their forearms, their underarms, and their legs, I guess to show off the muscle, like you're a bodybuilder. But these are just regular people. Even if they have a beard. The trend is to shave your head bald and have a beard. I don't get that. I really, if you're bald, you're bald. Why are you growing a beard? To show that you can grow hair on your head? Anyway, I think it's just a weird. These hipsters. I think that it's a weird. And these are people that if you actually pay attention to their hairline, they're not going bald. They have a full hairline. They just decide to shave their head and have a beard. I never understood that. I never understood people, unless you're in the military, you have to for certain, jobs, and you can have a full head of hair. Why are you shaving your head off at such a young age? Because at some point, most white males are going to go bald by the time they're 50 or 60 years old, and they're going to be spending an awful lot of money on Rogaine to keep their hair growing in. But when they're in their 20s, they purposely shaved off their thick locks. That doesn't make any sense. But in any case, I digress. These women out there evidently are allowing their pits to become harried. But by the same token, the men of their same age group are becoming hairless pitted. Are things really getting that twisted? Are women are women becoming more masculine and men becoming more feminine? Wasn't there an original Star Trek episode like this? There was a Star Trek episode where on this one planet that Kirk visited, the women were the bigger, stronger, testosterone-filled members of the species, and the men that's the case in the animal world. There are some species where the female member of that particular species is bigger and stronger, and the male is just this wimpy little thing. Especially black widows, black widow spiders. I mean, the male is lucky to get away after mating with the spider, because the black widow is going to kill him and then eat him. But yeah. So is that what's happening here on planet Earth? Is that women are well? If you listen to people and watch people like Rachel Maddow, aka Rachel Madcow, who tends to be a very I'm not going to say full-on man-hating, but she. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Rachel Maddow is a lesbian, and no, I do not know if Rachel Maddow shaves her legs or armpits, because I don't watch her, and I hope to God that she doesn't wear a bikini somewhere. I don't know. She looks like she's in shape, but it's hard to tell when you're sitting behind a desk all the time. I don't know. I'm not really interested in Rachel Maddow. And the glasses, the eyewear that she wears, not that she needs the glasses is a bad thing, but they do not flatter her, in my opinion. No, they don't. Her glasses, I've never liked her eyewear choice. They make her look shifty and untrustworthy, like she's trying too hard to be a lesbian hipster. Really, that's what they look like to me. I don't know. But I'm not into Rachel Maddow. But anyway, there is a trend. This trend, according to research by analyst Mintel, I've never heard of analyst Mintel, it shows that there has been a steady decline in millennial women removing hair from their legs and underarms. In 2013, the survey was done. 95% of women aged 16 to 14 said they removed hair from their underarms. But just 3 years later, in 2016, this had dropped to just 77%. So in 3 years, women went from, wonderful grooming tactics to less than stellar grooming tactics. Leg shaving is also falling out of fashion. In 2013, 92% of women surveyed said that they shaved their legs. By the time 2016 rolled around, it was 85% said that they shaved their legs. So right now, more women shave their legs than their armpits. Why? It would seem like it'd be quicker just to shave your armpits than your legs are more involved. Especially because you got then what? You got the bikini line that you got to worry about, and bikini waxing and all that kind of. Legs seem to be more of a problem. then if underarms, you just lift up your arms and swipe, 3 or 4 passes and you're done. Legs are a whole thing. It takes, half hour for a woman to properly shave her legs and primp and groom that leg region. I mean, it's just, why? Why are fewer shaving their armpit versus their legs? I don't get this whole millennial generation is really starting to. I don't get them. Industry figures show that the sales of shaving and hair removal products for women fell by 5% between 2015 and 2016 in Great Britain. However, I just saw not too long ago that sales for men shaving grooming products are rising quickly due to the fact that one of the reasons why some men stop shaving so much is because razor blades and everything it started to get really, really expensive. But then you have these shaving clubs like the Shaving Club and a few of the others that are out there. That, they have really high quality razor blades, disposable and permanent razor blades, resharpenable ones, for a few bucks. And shaving has become more affordable again. So shaving is back in. Notice how the whole there's this grooming style now for men. It's the beard. I know some guys do really funky, weird things with their beards, but I'm not talking about that. The mustache is out. The goatee is out. It's either beard or no facial hair. It's one or the other. There's none of this in-between stuff. There's no goatee. And the mustache is really out. I don't know. The mustache hasn't been in favor in years now. The mustache used to be thought of as being very masculine. Look, Tom Selleck still sports a mustache. But no, that is out. That's not in. If you're going to have a mustache, you got to have the full beard to go along with it. Which is really kind of weird. Well, I guess it's not weird. It makes more sense. Why, if you're going to shave, everything else off, I guess. But then I guess men don't want to stop there. They go and, they have to trim their chest. Can I tell you a little secret? I'm not embarrassed by it because, I go to the beach, I take off my shirt, it's just there. I don't shave I don't have a hairy, I could probably count the number of hairs on my chest with one hand, literally. I'm naturally hairless there. So I don't know what it's like to have to groom that area of your body. Some guys do. I wouldn't mind having a hairier chest because I think women find the guy with a hairy chest kind of hot, rough, tough, masculine. The one thing women do not like, most women do not, if you have it, you probably want to find a way to get rid of it, is women tend to tell guys they don't like guys with back hair. I kind of cringe when I see that on a beach, too. I see a guy, it's one thing to have a hairy front, hairy chest and stomach, but the back hair kind of even makes me cringe a little bit. Nah, got to get rid of that. I know it's all natural. You are who you are, and if you want to go be more natural, you should be proud of it and that kind of. But it's just called grooming. Look, even back in the day, when it was not as easy to shave, men shaved, and women shaved. Today's products for shaving it makes it a lot simpler, quicker, and easier. And now we don't wanna. There are some healthful grooming things that come along with shaving certain areas of the body. I mean, first of all, it helps keep you cleaner. It really does. There are less chance of things hiding, because we have this tick infestation just about everywhere in the country. Well, it's easier to spot a tick on shaven skin versus hairy skin. Just saying. So there are some safety and some grooming things that come about with shaving certain parts of your body. And obviously, shaving certain parts of your body just also makes you a little bit more attractive in my book. Well, I mean, I suppose there are some women that like the guy with the hairy back. I don't think I personally know any. But there are a lot of women that like the hairy front, the hairy chest. You know, the James Bond hairy chest type. But I think the last of James Bond, didn't he? Sorry, I know I've seen all the James Bond movies, but I don't recall. Is Daniel Craig bare-chested? Does he, manscape his chest? I don't remember. Well, because I don't look at guys. Why would I even notice? Sorry, that's why I don't remember. I'm sure there are women out there that remember. I don't recall if Daniel Craig did or if he had he didn't have the British hair, right? No, he didn't have the British hair. I mean, Pierce Brosnan does. And that's because I just saw him recently with his shirt off. So he doesn't manscape his chest. He's got the Brits tend to be. Brits don't tend to have hairy backs, but they tend to have a hairy front. I don't. I guess if you're going to be MI6 or MI5, you got to have hair on your chest. Now I don't. Well, if you want to come across the pond to America, I don't think Tom Cruise. The Mission Impossible. What was he? NSA, CIA? I don't know. Some shadow group. Well, he doesn't have a hairy chest. Any other spot? Well, the Furious movies. They started out being recruited as additional spies. Well, Vin Diesel doesn't have a hairy chest, and neither does The Rock. So I mean, I guess if you're an American, you can be you can be a hairless guy if you're an American spy. But if you're a British spy, you better have some hair chest or chest hair.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face and sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar. Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar. And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Call Rod now, 603-835-3226. Lines are open.
I know that there are a lot of people out there that have that have, I don't know, the hair grooming issues. I don't. As you know, it's people who know me that have known me for a while can attest. I could not grow a full facial beard, until I was about 30. Yeah, I had pretty much a baby face up until like the age of 30. I didn't have to shave. It was kind of nice. I didn't have to shave every day. Can you believe? I did not have to shave every day. Can you believe that? Grown man not having a shave every day. That happens. Not often, but Well, I think it's happening more and more today. Have you seen kids today? Maybe that's why some of these youngsters are turning to the hipster lifestyle, because some of those are proving that they can grow a beard. Because there are a lot of young men out there that maybe have to shave once a month. I'm just saying, not ragging on any male because they can't grow a full beard. But if you're past the age of 30 and can't grow a full beard, well, yeah. No, I can't say that, because there are some ethnic backgrounds. There aren't many hairy Asians. No, really. Asians are known as being naturally hairless. Asians do not grow a lot of body hair. Now again, there are some exceptions, and it really depends on where. If you're from the southern half of Asia, if you're like, I guess if you're Filipino, Thai, or not even Cambodians, but if you're a darker skinned or toned Asian, you're more likely to be able to have more body hair than if you're a lighter tone, because Japanese men, Chinese, Koreans, they don't tend to be very hairy. I don't know why. Maybe it's the rice, all the rice they eat. It keeps them skinny too. Asians are known for being thin. They tend to get fatter once they introduce themselves to a more Western diet. Believe it. Speaking of diets, there's a story here, really quick, folks. There's a story here about a diet, and this is absolutely crazy. Absolutely, from the Independent.uk, a baby-fed alternative diet weighed less than 10 pounds when he died. He was 9 months old when he died. Why? Because his mother and father, who were total granolas, tried to give their baby son products like quinoa milk, despite warnings that it was unsuitable for child at such an age. And these people were just totally nut jobs. Complete nut jobs. Oh, because they thought the kid might be lactose intolerant. This is how... don't go for all these alternatives unless you really have a medical issue. And then you probably really need to pay attention to your diet, not by eliminating things, but by paying attention to what's in it.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of French fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. the Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an A-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
Thousands of families affected by disasters, like the recent wildfires, urgently need support. You can help the American Red Cross provide warm meals, shelter, and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Premature birth is the #1 killer of babies. Those who survive often face birth defects and complications that affect them for life. For hundreds of thousands of families in the United States, this is the hardest thing they will ever have to face. And it's even harder on the baby. March of Dimes is providing education and support to families and funding life-saving research to give every baby a fighting chance. You can help. Do something today. Give them tomorrow at marchofdimes.org/tomorrow.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. the few, the proud, the Marines.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire is Rod Eccles.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. It is I, your lovable host, here on this Friday morning. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, indeed. It is Friday, May number 19 in the year of our Lord 2017, where we get to do things a little bit on the lighter side. We still take care of some of the heavier, weightier stuff, but we also tackle a lot of the lighter, funnier side of things, as well as talk about interesting things in the worlds of science and arts, entertainment, pop culture, blah, 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 all that kind of wonderful stuff. And, of course, if you can always jump in and join the fray by calling 603-835-3226. That is 603-835-3226, or hit me up on Twitter at LRod, or by using the hashtag bringing the rain. Yes. And of course, all you got to do is just keep it clean, please. If you want to talk about women going hairy and men going hairless, we can talk about that. By the way, speaking of trends, now this is a good trend. This is actually a good trend. I think we got too far off base going the other way because I'm more comfortable this way. Yeah, I understand, not always wearing a tie, but did you know that the business suit is on the way back? Yeah, business casual every day for certain types of industries is on the way out. And the business suit is coming back. That's a good trend in my book. Look, one of the things that has always bothered me is walking into a business when people are supposed to be professional. I'm not talking about, going to the mall. I'm talking about you actually walk into an office and you see a bunch of people in there and they're wearing jeans and sneakers or flip-flops and T-shirts, and it's Monday, not casual Friday. I'm not comfortable with doing business with companies like that. There's got to be some sort of professional decor. I believe that if you take care of yourself, then that shows professionalism. Then that translates into your job. There have been studies that have proven me right on that. By the way, I'm not just pulling that out of the air. I'm saying that simply because they have done numerous studies on that. in that clothes do make the person. Well, clothes help change a person's attitude. If you're overly casual all the time in your clothing, then that's how you treat your life and your business. Everything's just, no big deal. No urgency, no strenuousness, no professionalism. And that's really kind of true. But if you have to take the time to dress up every day, look your absolute best, look sharp, turned on, mind turned on, that's how you treat your business and your job. It's much more professional. I think there are a lot of people who have gone, a lot of CEOs and presidents of companies that have gone the gamut of this, being professional to totally casual to they're heading back to the professional thing, simply because there are studies and evidence that shows that people are actually more. It used to be the trend is casual wear made people more productive, but for some reason now it's gone too far, and putting more stringent restrictions and limits on clothing choices in the workplace, in the office, seems to also help productivity, because it changes people's perception of themselves and their coworkers. If you look like you're professional, you're going to act more professional. You're going to be more professional. If you look like you're just rather be lazing around on the beach, whether or not if you actually really would or not, doesn't matter. If you look like you are, then everybody's going to think that the perception is that it's going to be much lazier, less professional, don't got to worry so much, don't got to do so much work. We can take our time, chill out, chillax at the desk, at the QB, what have you. That doesn't work. Businesses are finding out that does not work. So and it's for some reason it's not just the two-piece suit. I guess in places like England and some of the major cities here in the U.S. like New York, the three-piece suit is back. Now, I don't know if I want to do the three-piece suit thing, but the three-piece suit is back. It's kind of funny. You can see it in TV shows. Anybody ever watch Blue Bloods? The Tom Selleck, Donnie Wahlberg cop drama. Tom Selleck, whenever dark three-piece suit. I mean, you want to talk about a throwback. But those are the types of things. But then if you go across the pond and you go into Britain and even France and even Italy, you'll see the three-piece suit is back with in fervor. I mean, it's not a bad. I'd just rather see a two-piece suit. I don't want to have to go the three-piece suit route, but because then you just seem like a banker or a the politicians aren't really going three-piece. That seems to be financial people. Bankers are getting into three-piece suits again, because they always did, I guess, back in the day. That was, the pocket watch and everything, and the vest, and the I don't know, the ascot type of tie that they used to wear. Yeah, so and ties are not so thin anymore, but they didn't get. Remember the wide ties back in the 70s? I mean, those suckers used to be freaking wide, but. Then they went the opposite direction in the 80s and 90s, and they became these pencil-thin things. Think the knit ties of the 80s. Think what you wore in the movie The Transporter, the thin black tie. Mad Men. It's also 60s. The thin tie was very 60s. If you watch Mad Men, you'll see that they had some thin ties, and they went ultra wide after that. I don't know why, but they did. I happen to like a thinner tie myself, not the ultra wide tie. But this is not a fashion program, and I don't know why I'm spending so much time on it. But other than to say that personal grooming, in how you dress, in how you groom yourself, has a huge effect on another person's perception of you, and thus how you have your perception of yourself. It's huge. If the standard norm of your society is that women do not personally groom, in other words, they don't shave their legs and armpits, then you're fine. But if the norm is that you do, and you want to buck that trend for whatever reason, you're not viewed as being a social icon. You're viewed as being lazy, unprofessional, and unclean, dirty. And that goes for even if you're a celebrity. You know, there's only so much celebrities can get away. I know people say, well, they can do that because they're a celebrity. Well, actually, that is also not holding true anymore either. People are looking at celebrity because celebrities are now viewed as being the people who are on the cutting edge of everything, and they're supposed to be leading all these other people, all their fans. And if the celebrity does something that is uncouth or uncool, they're being called out big time. And this is also a new trend. It is a good trend, by the way. Celebrities are being called out, and not just conservative celebrities, but you got some of these liberal celebrities now that are being called out for their nonsense on how they look, act, and what they believe in. That's a good thing. People are starting to say, hey, just because you make a lot of money and you entertain me doesn't mean you get to do anything you want or say anything you want. No, look, the first notion that we found that this to be true is, remember when Gwyneth Paltrow, when she was getting divorced, she wouldn't call it divorce, she called it a conscious uncoupling. And all of her fans said, is she a nut job? Just say divorce. I mean, what the hell is conscious uncoupling? That kind of talk is no longer being accepted by the vast majority of people. They're starting to hold their stars, their icons accountable for the stuff that they do and say, and that's also a good thing. I don't have a problem with that. Look, in this country you have freedom of expression, and you can say what you want, but you're not free to escape the consequences of your language and your thoughts. There's always consequences. And if you want to say something stupid, well, then you or support something stupid, you should expect a backlash. If you're too timid or too weak to anticipate and withstand the backlash, then you probably should keep your mouth shut or be a hobbit. And or a hermit, not a hobbit, a hermit. I mean, I'm glad to see that some of these celebrities are now being taken to task on what they say and how they behave and how they act. We need to take it further. We should not allow these so-called celebrities, simply because they entertain us, think that they can get away with all kinds of stuff. That includes sports stars, too. I don't care who you are. If you're in the limelight, I think you have an added responsibility to be an upstanding citizen. I think you have the added responsibility, because whether you think, and this goes directly to LeBron James, who once famously said, well, I'm not a role model. I didn't ask to be one. It doesn't matter. You chose to be an NFL player, and you practice to be as good as you are. You're going to be a role model. Whether you want to be or not is irrelevant. You are in a position, NBA. Don't give me that the NBA is your job. No, it's not your job. You're playing a freaking game. You're playing a game. You're making a career out of playing a game. In basketball, 15, 20 years, you could play a game. It's not your job. You're supposed to treat it like a job. Sure, but it's still a game. I was in high school, and I played basketball and football for the high school team. That was not my job. I was playing a game. If I had a part-time job, I went into work. I wasn't playing at Chuck E. Cheese or McDonald's when I worked there. No. You guys are playing a game and getting paid to play the game. That's the only difference between you and an amateur. An amateur doesn't get paid, but the professional gets paid. So it's not your job. You're still playing a game. And if you're playing a game and you know that people are going to, kids especially, are going to look up to you because they find you in awe at how good you are. You're going to be the role model, which means that if you're going to be in a certain position, I don't care what that position is, if you're going to be in a certain position where a lot of people are going to see you and look up to you, you have become a role model whether you want to or not, and thus you need to act that way. Because people will imitate you. And if you act like an asshole and they see it and they think that then they're going to think it's okay to be an asshole because, hey, everybody's, I'm not saying LeBron James is an asshole, but let's just pick him for a second because he's the one that says I never chose to be a role model. So if LeBron James decides to act like an asshole to everybody and everybody still loves LeBron James, then what are all these wonderful young minds full of mush who look up to LeBron James going to think? Oh, LeBron James can act like an asshole, so I can act like an asshole. Everybody still likes LeBron James, so everybody's going to still like me too. They follow you. You're a role model whether you like it or not when you're in certain positions. If you don't want to be a role model, then get out of the spotlight and stop complaining about it.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Hi, Gordon. What you been up to?
Big things, Fred. I'm a full-time student at bartending college.
Wow. I never had time for a formal education.
Well, I decided to make time, but it's not easy. Bartending college is a 4-week course.
Gee, how far along are you?
Well, let's see. This is Tuesday, the 3rd week. Hey, I'm a junior, and I'm late for a daiquiri lecture. Why don't you join me?
Why not?
Bartending college.
You've already spent enough time on the other side of the bar to qualify for enrollment.
Bartending college.
We'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll get a starter set of bartenders' jokes like...
So I says to the guy, you can stay, but the cow's gotta go. Bartending college.
You'll learn how to roll drunks, water the liquor, and skim the cash register. And remember, as the bartender, you drink for free.
Last call.
For integrity.
There is a reason why political leaders and business CEOs all over the world actually dress in what we call a business suit. Now, sure, there are some that dress in more in their native countries, the fancy attire, but they dress up. Whatever their professional or fancy attire is, that's what they dress up in. But usually, no matter where you go, it's the business suit, the 2 or 3 piece business suit. It's going to tell you something. People of influence and power and money wear suits for a reason. By the way, to finish the story that I ended the last hour with, a 7-month-old baby died. I know I said 9 months, but I meant 7-month-old baby died weighing just 9 pounds after his parents fed him an alternative gluten-free, lactose-free diet. And this actually happened in Belgium. The mother and father who ran a natural food store in a Belgian town insisted on putting their son Lucas on an alternative diet that included quinoa milk. Did I pronounce that right? According to local media, doctors warn that such a diet is generally unsuitable for such young children. And indeed, by the way, your baby, they need the high-fat milk. Do you realize that a human mother's milk has certain enzymes and fat in it that a baby needs to grow because it helps their nervous system. So if you don't use natural mother's milk, then cow's milk is the next best substitute because of the type of fat that's in it. That your developing brain and developing nervous system needs. I love these people that talk about, well, we just low fat this and low fat. No, your developing brains need fat. Developing nervous systems need fat. It helps coat everything and protect everything and give it the energy it needs to grow and to function properly. We get to these granola people that try to eat outside of the norm of the human body. The human body is made in a certain way. This would be taking the human body off the natural human diet. Is like trying to make a lion a vegetarian. We've done that to our pets, our dogs and our cats, and we found out it has been devastating to our pets' lives. In fact, we started adding real meat into some of our pet foods, and we find that the pets who are eating this stuff are living longer and healthier. The dog breed that was usually dying off at 6 or 7 years old is now living to be 10 to 12. And those are healthy 10 to 12 years. Because you can't screw around with the dietary needs of a particular body or system. If you need I don't care what your mind says. You can be all enlightened all you want. Your body still says, well, hell, I still need meat. Well, then you got to eat it. You're not going to be able to change it, at least not yet. Maybe someday when we have replicators, we can replicate. I don't even want to even get to the point of thinking that we're going to have replicated food. I mean, what the hell is that? First of all, what's actually going to be in it, and what's it really going to taste like? You know why people don't like imitation or banana flavoring? And they always say, it doesn't taste like bananas. Well, it does taste like bananas. But we don't have those bananas anymore. The people don't realize this. That imitation banana, the banana flavoring that you always get, banana extract and things like that, either be imitation or real banana flavor. The reason why it doesn't taste like bananas is because it is based on bananas that we no longer eat. Because at one point, back in the 70s, there was this huge banana fungus whatever problem that these types of banana trees were almost all wiped out, and they were replaced by today's current bananas. And today's current bananas that we usually eat taste nothing like those original bananas. Those original bananas, I remember those bananas. I remember because they were still around back then. Harry Belafonte singing 1 bunch, 2, 3 bunch, whatever. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Yeah, well, they were the real bananas. Sure, today's bananas are still real bananas. They're not the same though. They have a much milder, flatter taste than the original bananas that we used to eat, which is why people don't like that banana flavoring. that you get in the grocery store that comes in a little bottle? Begin they claim it doesn't taste like bananas? No, it does taste like bananas, the real bananas that we used to eat. But now we've changed to this. And by the way, the bananas that we have today, nutritionally speaking, they're inferior to the original bananas that we used to eat. See, you can't replace everything. Call Rod now, 666-603-835-3226.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
603-835-3226. Did you know that if your name is Ray, male or female, R-A-Y or R-A-E, you have a national holiday for you? Yeah. Checking today's holidays. Today is International Virtual Assistance Day. It is also Endangered Species Day. It is also National Bike to Work Day. And it is National NASCAR Day as well as National May Ray Day. Now, this one caught my attention. What is National May Ray Day? Well, a quick Google and Bing search leads me to nationaldaycalendar.com, which says National May Ray Day is on May 19th. If your name is Ray, R-A-E or R-A-Y, you give everyone permission to call you Ray. It's National May Ray Day. The idea is, so says the site, that everyone may call you Ray on this day instead of hey you, or maybe Rays sometimes get called sweetheart or even not such nice things. National May Ray Day is all about getting out into the sunshine and saying you can call me Ray. Now, I did a quick search, and there aren't many other name days out there. There's no National Rod Day. There's a National Fishing Day, but no Rod Day. Well, as the days come up, I will definitely let you. If you have a particular name, you may want to take note that as we pay attention the rest of the year to see which name has a special day. So if your name is Ray, today is your day. Today is also National Asian and Pacific Islander HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. I suppose it's big if you live out in Hawaii or maybe in the Philippines. It's also National Defense Transportation Day. Defense Transportation. It's also National... This is a big day today. May 19th is a big day. National Devil's Food Cake Day. It's National Hepatitis Testing Day. So go out there and get yourself tested for hepatitis, by the way. If you have, today's the day to do it, I guess. Today is National Frog Jumping Jubilee Day. It's also National Pizza Party Day. It's also National O. Henry Pun of the Day. This is something that's not in favor anymore. It used to be O. Henry used to be a saying that people used to use for puns back in the day. Today is also something that is a little bit politically incorrect, non-PC, which I'm happy to see. It's International Boys Club Day. Not Girls Club, Boys Club Day. Glad to see that. Boys have been taken aback by this anti-male thing has just gone way, way too far, and I think men are starting to fight back with this. Except now men are shaving everything, and men are shaving more and more, and ladies are shaving less and less. Things are getting backwards here. The other day I saw a couple walking around. It was actually in Manchester, New Hampshire. They were holding hands. That's how I know they were a couple. I don't know. Do non-couples hold hands? They might. I'm going to assume that they're a couple because they were holding hands. The interesting thing that caught my attention about them was that the man, had longer hair than the female. In other words, the hairstyles were, she had a short, traditional male-styled haircut, and he had a more traditional, long-haired female type of hairstyling. It was kind of bizarre to watch it. And the other thing is, he was clean shaved. He didn't have a beard. Now, usually the long-haired type of, they're the hipsters. When they have long hair, they're hippies. Not hipsters, they're hippies. And they have beards, and usually unkept and unclean beard. No, he was clean shaven. Long hair, clean shaven. She had short boy cut hair, and it was just kind of odd to see. That's about all I'm going to say about it. It was just weird to see that walking down the street holding hands. I mean, from the back, you would assume that it was a short guy dating a tall girl. But no, no. And it's not like the guy was extremely tall, but the lady was definitely shorter than him. It is also, finally today is also national, or I don't know if it's the internet. It doesn't say national or international. Today is Celebrate Your Elected Officials Day. Now, who started that? Probably an elected official. That's right. Today is Celebrate Your Elected Official Day. Do you think anybody's going to be celebrating Donald Trump today? Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I don't think they're going to be celebrating Donald Trump today. But today is Celebrate Your Elected Official Day. Now, since they didn't say it was national, well, they didn't say it's international either. So I'm not even going to speculate if it's an international day. Would you think Germany's going to respect their elected official day? How about France? England? Anybody? I doubt it. I doubt it. But in any case, go ahead and respect your elected official today. What does that really mean, respect them? Don't call them a name today, I suppose. Well, if that's the case, then maybe this next story is on point. The Daily Mail is onto something here. And, of course, I'm trying to find the story like this in our own media, print media. Can't find it. But the Daily Mail has it. Senior Democrat is now warning against calls to impeach Trump because it could be seen as a move to nullify election by other means. We've been saying this for the longest period of time. These wonderful minds full of mush, these snowflakes that morph into a blizzard every once in a while. They're trying to nullify what the American people voted for. Well, Adam B. Schiff, the most senior Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, is urging caution now because, you get people like Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters is the big mouth out there. Impeachment. We need to impeach. We need to look at him and then impeach him. Just look at him and look. You can look and see that he needs to be impeached. We need to impeach him. We're all about impeachment over here at the Democrat Party. We're going to impeach. If he smiles wrong, that should be illegal. He should be impeached for smiling wrong. Now, he said impeachment calls could be seen as a means of nullifying the election by other means. Now, Trump has claimed to be the victim of the biggest witch hunt in U.S. political history, and he's right. I can't think of a time in American political history where there has been such animosity towards a newly elected official, president. Now, on Wednesday, Representative Al Green called for Trump's impeachment on the House floor. Why? He didn't do anything illegal. Impeachment is for when you do stuff illegal, not when he does stuff that you don't politically agree with. If that's the case, then, and we should be president should be expect to be impeached by the opposite party every time there's a new president. That's not what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be used as a political weapon. That's why the stakes are so high and why it's so difficult to impeach and convict a president. And that is why, usually, if it goes that far, a president will resign. You know, Richard Nixon, anybody? I know Bill Clinton didn't resign. He should have, but he didn't because, you know, he had all his buddies in the Senate that were not going to convict him no matter what. He got away with it. Got away with it big time. So, but now they're calling, you know, he fires Comey. Everybody in Washington, D.C. wanted Comey fired. Everybody. Didn't matter if you were Republican or if you were Democrat. Democrats especially. So Trump fires him finally, and the Democrats are all up in arms. You can't do that. Impeach Trump. Impeach him because he fired it. Well, he was his boss. Think about, if he was outside the jurisdiction or supervision of the president, then he wouldn't be able to fire him now, would he? I mean, this whole Comey firing thing is blown way out of proportion. By the way, this is something that most Americans probably don't know or notice. Do you know that the Constitution does not mention anything about the FBI director? Nope, not at all. Doesn't mention the FBI. There are no amendments that were to the Constitution that have been passed that mention or talk about the FBI. None. So this really means that technically the FBI director doesn't even really need, as far as I know, doesn't even really need to be approved by the Senate. Now, maybe there was some law that was passed and signed by the president about the FBI and how the FBI was going to be run and that sort of thing. But there's no mention in unless people. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't dig up those types of senatorial and constitutional laws. But there's no mention of it in the Constitution. So therefore, the director of the FBI serves at the leisure and pleasure of the president, as do all other cabinet members, but cabinet members have to be approved. Now, the FBI director is not a cabinet member. Do they consider the FBI a cabinet? I don't think he's a cabinet member because he's within the Department of the DOJ, Department of Justice, which is under the Attorney General, which has to be nominated on and approved by the Senate. But DOJ is within, or the FBI director is within the DOJ under the. So technically, I guess, unless the FBI director's job was written into law, the FBI director is also serves at the pleasure of the Attorney General. But evidently, the Attorney General cannot fire the FBI director; only the president can. But the Attorney General can suggest, highly suggest to let them go. So this whole notion of there is no interference with an investigation by firing someone. I mean, come on. How are you really going to do that? You're the president of the United States. You're hated already. You fire somebody who's investigating somebody. Remember, Comey said he was not investigating Trump. So how could the president possibly be interfering with an investigation into him if Comey said that he wasn't investigating the president? Now think about that for a second. This whole notion, well, see, Comey was investigating the president, and and Comey said 3 times, "I'm not investigating you." So how is he possibly interfering with an investigation if he's not investigating the person that the president's trying to protect himself? Anybody ever think about that? And you got Maxine Waters out there. He's interfering with an investigation into Russian collusion into Trump. He's investigating Trump. Well, Comey said he wasn't investigating Trump. So if he's not investigating Trump, how is Trump interfering in on an investigation into him? There wasn't one. Why isn't anybody picking up on that little fact? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't match the narrative that the lamestream media wants to put out there, that Trump is in collusion with the Russians and he's trying to cover up and protect himself. There's nothing to protect himself from because he didn't collude with the Russians. There is no investigation into Trump with the Russians. Comey said so 3 times. So there is no interference or interruption of the investigation. And now we have this special counsel for what? Why? Where were the special counsels and the special investigators when we knew Hillary Clinton botched Benghazi? We knew that her emails had been stolen and that she was using a private server. Where were all of those special counsels and special investigators back then? Now we have this Trump fires Comey for what? Because Comey is inadequate, he's inept, and he can't run the FBI. You got this whole notion that everybody in the FBI loved Comey is a false notion. FBI agents have been coming out of the woodwork, both current and past, under Comey. They hated him. They viewed him as an embarrassment to the Bureau. They did not like Comey. That's a fake news story. It's false. All you got to do is just, hey, you FBI agent? Yeah. Did you like Comey? No. Plain and simple. He was not well received or well liked within the FBI because he was inadequate, he was inept, and he was too political. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to be talking about that because today is, Comey is not an elected official. He was appointed. So there isn't I don't know if there is a celebrate your appointed government official day. But if there is, today's not the day. And Comey was not elected. He was appointed. Maybe Trump should say, hey, today is National Celebrate Your Elected Official Day. Big league. Big league. It's true. It's true. Anyway, you have this guy, Democrat Adam Schiff, warned that these impeachment calls. Look, you're probably going to have some Democrats, some of the so-called weaker Democrats, who are also behind this push to impeach Trump for no reason whatsoever, other than they really just don't like him. They may lose their seats come November 2018. Because the American people who voted, especially in areas where Trump was big in the vote, and if the American people go to the polls and say, you're a jerk, you're an asshole for wanting to impeach my president, well, we're just going to have to vote you out of office and get rid of you. That's what's going to happen. Don't doubt me. There are some people that are going to lose their jobs over this one, folks. Some people really, really are.
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
July is National Baked Bean Month. Excuse me. Yes, a month in which we pay tribute to one of America's favorite, most healthful, and nutritious foods. I'm terribly sorry. As I was saying, good Lord, this is terribly embarrassing. I'm so... Whoa, doggy! I guess I'd better wrap this up quick. Basically, Jesus, whoa! Oh, God! Oh, my God!
Baked beans. They're nature's way of saying, for God's sake, open a window. Sorry.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Warning. Listening to the Rod Eccles Show by the Idiot Left may cause outrage, fear, a need for safety pins and or spaces. If you experience any of these symptoms or are allergic to truth, tune in and learn something.
Now, if you have some Democrats who are trying to use some sense of decorum and logic, that they need to calm down with this impeachment stuff, people are going to stop listening. They're going to stop paying attention and stop listening. And that is so. When it comes down to the election time, as we get closer and closer to the midterms, fewer and fewer people are going to be listening to Democrats. Aren't you one of those people that were calling for the impeachment of Trump simply because you didn't agree with his politics or you didn't like him personally? You're an idiot. Look, it's going to happen. And I think as usual, the Democrats are overplaying their hand. Especially when you get people like me out there starting to talk about and adding the truth on the other side. You guys on the left, you're such humongous hypocrites. I cannot believe that you utilize the arguments that you do, that when you bring up those arguments, you got to know right off the bat that we're going to bring up the same damn things that Obama and Bill Clinton did. You want to talk about sexual harassment? There are some people out there that still want to bring up this stupid sexual harassment stuff on Donald Trump, and you're saying that's a reason to impeach him? How about Bill Clinton? There were a lot more credible women who accused Bill Clinton of rape than there were of accusing Donald Trump of just saying bad, nasty things. Oh, he groped me. Half of them have already been proven to be fake and phony, and by witnesses who were around that say that never happened. Not so with Bill Clinton.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
When I found out I had atrial fibrillation, a serious but highly treatable heart condition, the first thing I thought of was who would take care of my wife and children if anything were to happen to me? My doctor recommended Prevactin. I had a lot of questions, so I did some research. It turns out Prevactin is the #1 recommended drug for Crohn's disease. I think my doctor's trying to kill me and steal my wife.
Doctors. They'll stop at nothing to get your wife.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially.
And so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire is Rod Eccles.
Yes, indeed. It is a Friday here on the Rod Eccles Show. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, indeed. Every Friday we take things down a notch or two. We get a little bit lighter on the subject matter. We bring the entertainment function or meter up a notch, and we just try to have some fun as we get ready to slide on into the weekend. Of course, we just talk about just about anything under the sun on a Friday. You can join in the fun by calling 603-835-3226. It could be just about anything on your mind. Keep it clean, please. Remember, during the week, it's usually we have to talk about stuff that really on the table that interests me. It's on the plate at that particular moment in time. But Fridays, it could be just about anything, whatever's on your mind. Doesn't matter. What doesn't matter the subject. Science, art, pop culture. Conspiracy theories. You want to talk conspiracy? I know there are people out there that love conspiracy theories. You can talk about those. Except for, don't, well, I shouldn't say it. But I draw the line at the chemtrail stuff. I do. I'm sorry. It's not out there. It's not happening. Not buying it. Really, no, not buying the chemtrail thing. There are other conspiracies that may have some legs. That you might want to talk about, but I think the chemtrail thing has been debunked, 8 ways since Sunday. I don't know how many times I've seen certain aspect, just about every aspect of the chemtrail conspiracy theory debunked by people who could care less one way or the other. So I've seen too much evidence going the other way. So I'm not interested in the chemtrail thing anymore. I mean, well, you're crazy. You're stupid. You know what you're talking about. Well, yeah, I've seen a lot, actually, about the chemtrail issue. And it's... Unless there's a smoking gun out there that you guys don't, that you pro-chemtrail people for whatever reason want to keep under wraps and don't want to release, the evidence that you have presented thus far has been legitimately and logically and ethically debunked. Every bit of it. Not just some, every bit of it. So until you guys come out with the smoking gun, you haven't. I'm sorry, but you chemtrail people, you haven't come out with a smoking gun. I have seen it all that you have to offer, and I've also seen the debunking of everything that you have to offer. That's where I'm going with this. Not that I just don't believe it, but that the reality is that it doesn't exist because people have shown that it does not exist. So, I mean, that's about the only thing that's probably off the table if some people want to talk about the chemtrail thing. Otherwise I don't. Well, if you want to talk about conspiracies, great. Some of them are entertaining. Some of them probably hit very close to home and are very, very close to the facts and the truth. And some people are really surprised when a conspiracy theory actually starts to pan out, and they think, "Oh my God, what did I do?" Well. There are people who that's all they do. Is they come up with all these conspiracies, they dream up with conspiracy theories, and then they try to fill in the holes of their conspiracy theories. You know, sometimes they'll try to find some news person or some news story to fill in the holes. And this is what has happened with the Trump impeachment thing. You know, we've gotten to the point now where and this is where some Democrats are at. You know, they want to impeach the president over Comey. But it's kind of ridiculous because some of the information that they're going on has basically been admitted to be fake. Comey said that the president asked him to stop investigating Flynn. Well, where is that memo? How come nobody's seeing it? But you got a lot of Democrats who are pointing to that statement, that supposed memo, as the reason to impeach Trump because he's blocking investigations, he's interfering, he's impeding justice, all that. And I believe the memo doesn't exist. This reporter lied again. But we're under the notion that we were under the notion that he either had it or he's seen the memo, and then he admits on NBC live on NBC to Brian Williams, you know, a faker himself. Well, no, Brian, I didn't see it. Sorry, didn't see the memo. I didn't view it at all. Don't know if it really exists. But the source is the source is how do we know the source is credible? Your own news organization has thumped you a few times for not being accurate enough on your reporting. But this is what the Democrats are overplaying their hand on this thing, and this is why they're not necessarily united over impeachment now, because they realize, hey, Maxine, man, baby, honey, dudette, you gotta calm it down. We get the fact that you don't like Donald Trump for whatever reason. Get it, got it, but you gotta let it go, honey. So this is from The Atlantic, by the way, which is not a noted conservative ragmag. Congressional Democrats have unified around calls for an independent investigation into Russian involvement in the 2016 presidential election, but they're split over whether to talk publicly about the possibility that Trump will face impeachment. No, they're split also according to Democrat Adam Schiff, they're also split on impeachment, period. I know they're trying to show a united front on this, but there is no united front. They're not as united as you would think. They're not as united as the lamestream media would have you believe. The Democrats are split over this because some of them actually still believe in law and order and the rule of law, and they still realize that the president hasn't broken any laws yet. There is no evidence of him breaking laws, and you just don't go and investigate on a fishing expedition just to see if some laws are broken. That's also not constitutional. There's got to be a reason. You know, they just can't, the government just can't pick out somebody willy-nilly, whether they're a government official or not, and say, hey, you. Yeah, what's your name? Okay, your name is Joe Schmo. Hey, start investigating Joe Schmo to see if he broke any laws. That's not the way our justice system works. At any level. You don't start this is how some people got caught. You know, Scooter Libby, Martha Stewart, anybody? This is how some people got caught. It was fake investigations that were started just to see if somebody broke a law. And then while they were investigating the fake law breaking, they got caught up in saying something that they probably shouldn't have said. And then it got twisted. In Martha Stewart's case, she got twisted around, man. She got roped into it big time. She really got screwed. I'm surprised her lawyers didn't really shout, jump up and down unconstitutional here. Because they were looking for one thing that happened, and Martha Stewart said, well, I didn't have any part of it. And then they said, well, wait a minute. Didn't you own the stock? Well, yeah, but I didn't have any part of it. And then they thought, well, didn't you tell them to sell it? Yes. But I didn't know that this was happening. So, Martha Stewart, you own the stock. You basically told us you didn't, but you did, and you told them to sell it. And you basically told us you didn't tell them to sell it, but you did tell them to sell it, even though you didn't tell them to sell it on insider information. So you basically lied to a federal agent. I mean, that's how they twisted her around, really. They started investigating her because they were investigating somebody else, but it had nothing to do with Martha Stewart, only that she was just a client. So they just said, you know what? Check out Martha Stewart, see if she broke any laws. While we know this guy probably did so. We have reason to investigate this broker or whatever he was. So, you know what? He's got a high-name client here. Check her out. There was no reason to check her out. Really. So this is why because frankly, folks, if the government wanted to find something on each and every one of us just by investigating our past, they're going to find something. They're going to. None of us are 100% squeaky. I'm sorry, we're not. I mean, even if they just find a video of you actually jaywalking sometime, they're going to try to nail you. Did you ever jaywalk? Well, no, I didn't. Aha! We have a video of you jaywalking. You just lied to a federal agent. You're going to jail for lying in an investigation. That's how that works, folks. That's how that could work. And I'm not exaggerating. This is why you just don't say, investigate this person to see if they did anything. That's why it's unconstitutional. You just can't do that. Because at some point, even whether or not you even realize they're going to say that you lied. You may not even remember. And then they're just going to say, well, no, see, we got it. We have the goods right here. We have the facts. And they may throw them in your face, literally throw the piece of paper in your face. See, look at this. Or the video. See, look, we got you. And you said you didn't know anything about it. And you say, well, I didn't remember, man. I didn't. Too late. You already lied. We got you. That's how that works. That's how it works. I mean, can you remember every last detail of your life? What you've done as an adult? Can anybody? No. Even if your memory is jogged by an incident, if somebody says, remember this, you can honestly look at them and say, no, I don't. And then somebody brings proof that you did or said or did, and you don't honestly remember it, and you said, well, no, I didn't do that. I don't remember that. Then they can get you for lying. That's how easy it is. This is why we do not do that. This is why we just don't pick people out of a hat and say, investigate the hell out of them, see if they broke any laws. We don't do that. But this is what the Democrats are calling for, some of them. In this Trump thing. Well, there's no evidence of a Trump-Russian collusion. But got to still investigate it, man, because there's something there. We know that there's something there. There's got to be something there. Trump, one of his buildings, financing involved. Oh my God! We find out that there was a Russian bank that did some business with another bank that gave Trump some of the money to put up one of his building projects, and all of a sudden, see, Trump got paid by Russians. No, he didn't. But you're making it sound like Trump is saying, well, I've never, ever, 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 never in any kind of way possible done business with the Russians. He didn't say that. But that's what they're making it sound like. And therefore, Trump lied. But he didn't. And there are some Democrats that are saying, whoa, we better calm down this rhetoric crap here, or else we're going to be seen as trying to nullify an election by the people. And we're already, there are some Democrats that get it, that they're losing election after election after election. And this kind of rhetoric is not going to help them win back any power whatsoever. So the Democrats are split, they're fracturing on this stuff. And there are some people that are going to be left out there pretty soon all by themselves, like Maxine Waters, on this impeachment stuff. And they're going to be seen even by the less than centrist in the Democrat Party. They're going to be seen more and more as kooks. You know what? This may be the best time in California right now, in 2018, to take out people like Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi. This may be your best shot, because these people are sounding like real over-the-top kooks. Can you imagine some of the political ads that could be run off of the words, without taking them out of context, off the words of Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi? Ooh, that would just be delicious.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Six 603-835-3226. Hey, if you go on a date, do you go on a date to the movies? Then make sure that you turn off your phone if you're at the movie theater and you don't do any texting. Why? Well, because we have another story here, from the Daily Mail, but this is out of Austin, Texas. Yes, a man sues a woman for $17.31 because she was... Here's the case. A man by the name of Brandon Vezmar, Vezmar, who happens to be 37, so not a millennial, a Generation Xer, my generation. Actually, kind of embarrassing to admit that, but he is. Brandon Vezmar from Austin, Texas, meaning he was born either 78 or 79. He sued his date last week for $17.31. He says his reasoning for the claim is because she was texting during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and the amount he's suing for is the price of the movie ticket. $17.31 was the price of a movie ticket? That's an odd price. Now, Vezmar said his date's texting was a direct violation of the policy at the theater, and that his experience was adversely affected by her texting. His date, Crystal Cruz, initially said that she wasn't going to pay Vezmar back, but on Wednesday of this week, she apologized, gave him the money, and asked him to drop the case. Vezmar accepted her apology and said he would withdraw the suit from court. So the long and short, the long and short of it, are you kidding me? This is not fake news. This is a real story. Because as you read the story, you'll find out that the Daily Mail did some due diligence, and there was a court case pending by this guy, Brandon Vezmar. First of all, he's single at 37 going on a date. Now, it doesn't say how old. I didn't see how old Crystal Cruz was. But come on. Really? First, well, you're in a movie theater. You shouldn't have your phone on and texting people. What are you texting about? Are you that bored with the movie? You don't like not that? And if you're the guy sitting next to your date and she's not interested in the movie, maybe you should. If she's texting, maybe you should ask if she's not interested in the movie. Go do something else then. Yeah, even get up and leave early. You can always go back later with, by yourself or with your buds to see the movie. I mean, come on. You're on a date. And if all it wasn't even a $20 bill that you had to dish out for her. Well, I don't know if he's suing for both tickets or just her ticket. I'm going to assume it was probably just hers because, $15 plus whatever the tax might be on that. 17. Because that's an odd number for a movie ticket. $17.31. It has to be because of tax. Now, we didn't pay taxes like that. It was already built into the price of the ticket, I thought, when you went to the movies in New York. When I lived in New York, it's been so long since I've been to the theater where in a state that has sales tax. I don't know. But that's the only way that I can think of that it's coming out with $17.31. is probably a $15 movie ticket with some sort of tax that adds $2.31 to the price of the ticket. Well, there have been other such frivolous lawsuits out there. I mean, kids suing their parents because the parents refuse to pay for their college education. You owe me that $100,000 education. You're going to pay for my. Remember those? There was a girl. Remember the girl that sued her parents for not paying for? And there's been other lawsuits. The kids being not going to the prom, and the date being sued for not taking the daughter or whoever it was to the prom, and it's just ridiculous nonsense stuff out there. But just be careful if you are texting. Don't text at a movie theater, especially with this guy. He'll sue you.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please, call or go online right now.
Bring the rain.
You know, something else about the left. I don't know. You can call this guy a leftist. He is so butthurt by his date texting during a movie that he obviously wanted to see and enjoying, that he decided to sue her for just call it, $20 is gone. You never date her again. Watch they end up getting married, right? And they're going to end up on like Maury Povich or whoever does that kind of stuff nowadays. I don't know. Who are the shock television talk show hosts now? Is it Maury Povich is still the dude? I know Morton Downey Jr. is dead. He died a while ago. I think he had cancer. So there's just Morton, right? Morton Downey? I don't know. Who else is out there? No, I don't watch daytime TV, so I don't know. Maybe they'll end up on Ellen. Maybe Ellen will try to get them back together for a second date or a third date, whatever it is. Well, whatever. There is something else going on out there in the leftist world that is just totally, it is mind-blowing how idiotic these people just do not even, I don't even think they know what the word hypocrite means. Seriously, what they seem to want is they're all feckless. What they want is they want a feckless president, but what they are themselves is feckless. And this is these net neutrality supporters. Now the funny thing is that these net neutrality supporters, because they want fair and open internet, they literally want to ban websites like Drudge. Look, they're out there protesting now. Well, maybe not at this very moment, but they were out there protesting this week. Alternate left or alt-left advocates for net neutrality who say they want a free and open internet want to ban the Drudge Report. They're holding protest signs while protesting that say, ban Drudge Report. Yes, members of the alt-left who have been tied to violent protests in the past picketed outside the Federal Communications Commission yesterday in protest of Chairman Ajit Pai's proposal to reverse net neutrality rules. The FCC will vote to undo the Obama-era Title II rule that classified internet service providers as utilities, subjecting them to more federal regulation. It also, by making them a utility, it also means that when you're getting into a landlord-tenant issue, that your cable now becomes a utility, which has additional protections under landlord-tenant rules and regulations within many jurisdictions. Because it's now a utility. Because cable wasn't. You don't have to have cable because it's not a utility. Oh, now cable's a utility. So you can't cut it off at certain periods, and you can't do certain things with it at certain periods of the year because it's a utility. I'm not kidding. Look it up. Protesters covering their faces as usual held signs that read "Ban Drudge" with a no symbol. You know, the red symbol with a slash down the middle. Over the Drudge Report, the highly trafficked news website run by Matt Drudge. Other protesters held signs to ban other news websites, including Breitbart and InfoWars. Ban InfoWars. Hashtag net neutrality, said one sign. Do they not even know what net neutrality means to them? How is InfoWars, Breitbart, and Drudge are not ISP providers? This net neutrality thing is all about ISP providers, internet service providers, doing certain things to restrict access to certain sites. You know, for instance, if maybe Netflix or HBO or something uses too much bandwidth, so they slow it down, so or restrict the amount of bandwidth that they're utilizing, so you can't get what you're paying for from Netflix. It has nothing to net neutrality has nothing to do with who's out there on the web. It's nothing to do with Drudge. It's nothing to do with InfoWars is not an ISP. They don't provide. I don't think he does. Does he provide internet service anywhere? What's his name? Alex. Can't believe I can't think of his last name. Alex Jones, right? He doesn't provide internet services anywhere. No, he doesn't. He's just a website. He's just a YouTube channel and a website. But ban InfoWars, hashtag net neutrality. How is that net neutrality? You're not being fair. The organizers of the campaign Protect Our Internet are connected to popularresistance.org, which features several members of the anti-fascist or Antifa campaign. And of course, the anti-fascists are the ones acting like fascists. How many times have I said that on this show? The anti-fascists are acting like the true fascists. And these what is it about? Breitbart doesn't write most of the stuff that's on, Drudge doesn't write most of the stuff that's on the Drudge Report. He's a news aggregator for the most part. But most of the stuff it's linked in from some other place. But no, got to ban because he does a lot of conservative news linking. You know, there's also the so-called alt Drudge, which is the Drudge Retort. Anybody, Drudge.com is not actually run by Matt Drudge. Anybody know that? And it has a more liberal bent, but it still has an awful lot of conservative content linking over there. Yeah, I mean, it's just hell. I was thinking about just having my own new website. The Drudge Response. How's that? And you got the Drudge Report, Drudge Retort. Now how about the Drudge Response? I'll make it look like Drudge. Nothing but links. Evidently, it's very popular to do that kind of thing. And just have other conservative stuff on there. That's probably not a bad idea. Maybe I'll look into that. Don't you dare take that anybody take that domain name. If you do, I'm gonna call for you being banned. Anyway, Protect Our Internet claims its mission is to keep the internet vibrant, free, and equal. So you're going to keep it equal by banning people you disagree with. Folks, I'm not making this up. You can't make this up. I am not that creative. If I could make this kind of crap up, man, I'd be the number one author. I'd be like a Stephen King novelist, man. Seriously. Because I got a lot of stuff here. If I could make this stuff up that I bring to you, and the stuff that I don't bring to you that I research and see every day, oh my goodness. I might be able to take some real news stories and turn them into fiction, and people will not believe that they're based on a true story. I'm serious. You wouldn't. You would just be saying, well, geez, Rod has got a great imagination. He's got to be making this stuff up. No, but you can't make this stuff up. You've got people out there protesting lifting of net neutrality rules because they want a free, vibrant, and open internet, but they want to ban certain web pages. You can't make this up. Keep the internet free. Keep the internet open. Ban Breitbart. Wait, what? So you don't want anybody to be banned except because that would mean that it's not a free or open internet, but you want to ban Breitbart and Drudge and InfoWars. Why? Because they're too popular? Yeah, really, that's it. They're too popular. People are actually going to those sites on their own. They're not being forced to. Nobody's holding a gun to their head or a gun to their computer or, forcing somebody under the threat of dumping a gallon of water on their electronic device if they don't go to one of these sites. Nope, they go to these sites freely out of their own desire to do so. And there are too many people who are, and that's not acceptable, I guess, under if you have a site that's too popular, I guess that's against net neutrality rules. I don't know. So there you go. They're protesting Breitbart and Drudge. They want them banned while they're protesting to keep the internet free. Yeah. Yep. Can't make this up. Yahoo News has got this report. It's something else you cannot make up. I mean, I saw this and thought, no, this is not possible. A U.S. judge allows first transgender person to sue under disability law. Yeah, but that's not the unbelievable part. A U.S. judge ruled yesterday that a transgender woman could move. Does that mean that he's really a guy? I don't remember how that works. I get confused with that kind of crap. But anyway, a transgender woman could move forward with a sex discrimination lawsuit after her employer under the Americans with Disabilities Act, even though the act explicitly excludes transgender people from protection. Yes. The plaintiff, Kate Lynn Blatt, B-L-A-T-T, becomes the first transgender person to be allowed to sue under the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, for gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria, according to her Philadelphia-based lawyer, Nilima Vanguri, V-A-N-G-U-R-I. But U.S. District Judge Joseph Leeson avoided ruling on the constitutionality of the ADA, as the plaintiffs had sought, under the legal principle that courts should avoid decisions on constitutional grounds if possible. Let me reread you that. The U.S. District Judge in Philadelphia, Judge Joseph Leeson, L-E-E-S-O-N, avoided ruling on the constitutionality of the Americans with Disability Act itself, as the plaintiffs had sought, as Kate Lynn Blatt had sought, under the legal principle that courts should avoid decisions on constitutional grounds if possible. What other grounds are there? You've got a sitting judge that is telling people that courts should avoid ruling on the constitutionality of anything. What? That's the whole point of the court. Is it not? This is why I say you can't make this stuff up. I never in my wildest dreams would have ever thought up in my own little imagination to have a judge actually say courts should not be ruling on constitutional grounds, if at all possible. Well, who's supposed to be doing the ruling on constitutional grounds if it isn't the courts? Yeah. It is what it is, folks.
What if I told you that you could lose weight simply by drinking coffee? Change your coffee, change your life. Our gourmet estate-grown coffee is infused with powerful herbs that help you melt fat and keep you from feeling hungry for 6+ hours. Get results or your money back. Order yours today at skinnycoffeeshop.com. That's skinnycoffeeshop.com. Tea and water also available. skinnycoffeeshop.com.
Have a legal problem and need some serious legal advice? Then you're listening to the wrong podcast.
Any facts we say here are probably wrong. And any analysis of the law should not be followed.
There you go. Reasonable men are here to take a twisted look at the law.
Stack your hay right.
Learn in hand. Best name in law school.
Check us out on iTunes, reasonablemen.com, or on your favorite podcast app.
Reasonable men are back.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
If you can't depend on your own federal court system to rule on constitutional matters, I don't know who gets to do so. Maybe the Democrats in Congress. Maxine Waters, I suppose, is the arbiter of that. Daily Mail has another story here about Julian Assange this time. It appears that Sweden is dropping its probe against Julian Assange in a rape case. Isn't the the girl with the dragon tattoo. Isn't that Swedish? Isn't that about a rape case too in Sweden? I never watched the movies or read the books. And there's two different there's the original Swedish version of the movie, and then there's an American version, I guess. I don't know. I haven't watched any of them. I don't forgive or forget, said Julian Assange, as he complains that he has been unfairly treated and unfairly missed 7 years of his children growing up due to his detention, as Sweden drops the rape probe but does not necessarily exonerate him. Julian Assange has been living in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for 5 years. The 45-year-old Julian Assange says he has been slandered, adding, "I do not forgive or forget." Now, WikiLeaks founder had faced Swedish investigation into a 2010 rape allegation. The focus now turns to whether he will fly to Ecuador in order to avoid extradition to the United States. So yeah, because he's in the Ecuadorian embassy. Why can't he see his kids over the past 7 years? Frankly, I didn't even know that he had kids. I didn't. And when the news first broke about him potentially raping a woman in Sweden, I thought it was fake news back then because I thought Julian Assange was gay. Guess I was wrong about that. I don't know. I don't pay attention to people's sexual exploits. But from people that know him and met him, say no, he's like the artist formerly known but also known as but now deceased Prince. There are many people that could probably look at Prince and say, "Oh yeah, he's gay." No, Prince was definitely not. You ask just numerous numbers of hotties, beauties, models, whatever that were married to him or dated him, and they will tell you, no, he was a freak actually. I'm guessing Julian Assange was probably also a freak in the bedroom. I don't know. Don't know for sure. I don't know this. I don't have any evidence to support my theory, other than people like him usually are freaks in the bedroom. And look, ladies like that. I don't know. Not gonna judge. Not gonna judge in that case, but. He may be making a move out of the Ecuadorian embassy in the UK so he can stretch his legs in Ecuador itself. A lot of Americans have moved to Ecuador, by the way. It is Ecuador is the new Mexico, I guess. Still relatively inexpensive. I do believe they use their currency as the U.S. dollar. And they're very friendly to English-speaking peoples, so because we bring in a lot of money. So there you go. By the way, former Vice President Joe Biden says that he rips Hillary Clinton as being a very bad candidate. But says that he could run for president in 2020, but probably won't. Folks, I'm telling you, Biden is seething underneath. Now, he's using the excuse still that it was because of his son Joe Biden having brain cancer and passing away in 2016. But I'm telling you, Joe Biden gave one of the most redonkulous, long-winded, I'm not running speeches I have ever heard of or seen in the political venue. He wanted to run. But he wanted to run, folks. But I think Obama told him, "Hey, Joe, sorry, bud, you got to fall on the sword on this. You can't run. It's Hillary's turn. You can't run." Which was also why all those people, especially Obama, was there in the Rose Garden, making sure that he didn't screw it up and actually said, without putting his foot in his mouth, that he wasn't running. I don't think he's going to run now. I think he's just going to be too old. He says, if I pay off my mortgage on my house by then. When has that ever stopped them? They could pay, politicians can pay off their mortgage on their house like that. All he has to do is set up a PAC to pay off Joe Biden's mortgage. Hey, really? Anyway, folks. That sound means that we are out of time, not only for today, but for the week. The fastest broadcasting week on Internet Talk Radio is right here, but we will be back on Monday. Got some new stuff for you coming up. Some new stuff on the website, some new stuff here on the program, all next week, so don't miss it. Be back here. Have a great weekend. Until then, I'm Rod Eccles. Thanks for listening. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For Clinton, what's loaded in some fat apple file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.